The mountain path. Sophia stood at the base of the towering mountain, its peak lost in a thick blanket of fog. The path before her was steep and rugged, winding through dense forests and jagged rocks. She had been preparing for this climb for months, dreaming of the view from the summit. Yet now, as she stared up at the daunting trail, doubt began to creep into her mind. She could feel the weight of her backpack, heavy with supplies, and the chill of the morning air biting at her cheeks. Her heart pounded with a mixture of fear and excitement. The first few hours of the hike were grueling. The terrain was uneven, and every step seemed to require twice the effort she had imagined. Her legs ached, and her breath came in short, sharp bursts. But she pushed on, reminding herself of the promise she had made to reach the top. She passed through thick patches of thorny bushes, her clothes snagging on branches, and slipped on loose stones more than once. Each time she stumbled, she felt a surge of frustration, but she quickly steadied herself and continued, determined not to let the mountain defeat her. As she climbed higher, the fog grew thicker and visibility decreased. The once clear trail became hard to distinguish from the surrounding landscape. Sophia's confidence wavered as she lost her way several times, feeling the cold sweat of panic on her forehead. She paused to catch her breath, her heart racing, her hands trembling. The thought of turning back crossed her mind more than once. She wondered if this journey was too much for her, too ambitious, too far beyond her limits. But deep down, she knew that turning back would mean giving in to fear, and that was something she had promised herself she would never do again. She remembered the countless times she had let fear dictate her choices, the opportunities she had missed, and the dreams she had left unfulfilled. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, focusing on the steady rhythm of her heartbeat, feeling a small spark of determination reignite within her. Step by step, she moved forward. She began to trust her instincts more, feeling her way along the path when the fog thickened, and using her hands to grip rocks and branches for support. Her muscles burned, and her clothes were soaked with sweat, but she pushed through the pain. She stopped thinking about the summit and focused on the ground in front of her, one step at a time. The fog around her was still dense, but her resolve was clearer than ever. Hours passed, and the ascent seemed endless. Just when she thought she could not take another step, the fog began to lift, slowly revealing a glimpse of the sky above. Encouraged, Sophia picked up her pace, feeling a surge of energy as the path became more visible. Her body ached, but she pushed herself harder, her mind set on the goal. She felt the rough edges of the rocks beneath her hands, the cold air filling her lungs and the sweat dripping down her brow. But she kept moving, driven by a force that felt stronger than her exhaustion. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she reached the summit. The fog cleared entirely, unveiling a breathtaking panorama of valleys, rivers, and distant mountains. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange, pink, and gold. Sophia stood there, her chest heaving, her legs trembling, but her heart swelling with pride and joy. She had made it. The journey had been long and arduous, but every step, every stumble, and every moment of doubt had led her here. As she gazed out over the vast landscape, she realized that the true reward was not the view, but the journey itself. The mountain had tested her in every way, but it had also shown her the strength she didn't know she had. She had faced her fears, pushed through her pain, and found a resilience within herself that she had never imagined. Sophia smiled, knowing that no challenge, no matter how great, could ever stop her from moving forward again. She had learned that perseverance was not just about reaching the top, but about finding the courage to keep going, even when the path was unclear.